Hey guys, just wanted to come on here and give you a bit of an updated review on the Samsung QLED 32-inch 4K Smart TV that I got back in November, around November that is. And just to kind of catch you up to how I was able to obtain it. Of course, as you know, I was let go from my job, and one of the things I invested in at my job was my 401k, and I invested enough over time that I was able to purchase this television along with my additional unemployment that I was getting at that time. I was starting to get at that time. So, long story short, I was able to catch up on a lot of things, take care of a lot of things, and finally, treat myself to something that I've been wanting to get for quite some time, and that, of course, is a 4K TV. Now, originally, when I was planning to get a 4K TV, I had the thought of having to rearrange stuff to where I'd have to put it right in the center here. But, God just told me one day, hey, just keep looking, Google in 32-inch 4K, see what happens. And lo and behold, I ended up finding exactly what I was looking for. It came out around the early portion of last year, around between, I think, February and April. And it came out at an affordable price, at a price that anybody could afford, even at that time period. And all I could say is, just as the old saying goes, it's worth every penny because it definitely lives up to the quality that Samsung is known for, and it's everything that people say it is. It's great. It's got a great picture. It's fully operational with the smart system, if you will, the smart apps, the webs and all that. It's basically 100%. 100% through and through, one of the best 4K televisions affordably on the market right now, especially for its size, which is 32-inch. Now, with that said, I'm sure a lot of you have been wondering, did I have or have I had any issues with the television? And I can tell you honestly, no. I have yet to have any issues with it. The only thing that might be an issue to some is when you turn off the television, for the night, and then you wake up the next morning and you turn it on, you might see like a little flash on the screen. And that flash, from what I understand, from what I've noticed, and I could speculate, is letting me know that I have to clean out its catch area. And what I have to do by doing so, and this is recommended, is turn off the TV, wait for a little bit, turn it back on, by hitting the power button on the remote for a few seconds and letting it refresh itself. Just like, with a phone, when the phone starts to kind of slow down a little bit, you're like, okay, what do I have to do to kind of speed it up? You go and you clean it. You go to your data area and you basically use the options there to clean it, to clean the catch areas, if you will, that are possibly filled to the brim, or to a point that, it's interfering with, your phone's operations. So that's basically the only issue, if any, that people might notice with this kind of a television, or any kind of smart TVs for that matter. 4K, 8K if you're fortunate enough, 1080p, 720. You're going to experience something like that. And it's just its own way, in my opinion, of letting you know, hey, you got to clean my catch area, so I can be, refreshed for the day. In other words, you got to give it a shower, if you will. You got to clean it up, if you will. But besides that, overall, it's great. It is one of the best, like I say, purchases I've made. The only thing that I would take issue with it is the fact that, with, let's say a video capture device, you can't record, the footage and the sound at the same time. I mean, both the footage and the sound will record depending on your video capture device. But the thing is, all you'll see is the video. All you'll see is the picture of, let's say, the game you're playing, because you won't be able to listen to anything else, because there's some kind of like disconnect or whatever. The other thing as well is your DVD player may not operate very well unless it's connected directly to the television, just like a Blu-ray player. Because I have my DVD player connected to my 4K HDMI switcher, along with my PlayStation and my Xbox and my Roku, and it is, it plays, but there's no sound. There's no sound whatsoever. So, that's the only issue I have with it, is that it's not giving us, like the opportunity to listen to our television or play our DVD player as originally, planned. Now, the silver lining though is if you have a Blu-ray player or a 4K Ultra Blu-ray player, that will work because of course it's connected directly or, somewhat, if you will, to the 4K television. Either it's connected directly into it or it's connected to the HDMI switcher. Now, what's interesting about these connections too is basically the television, being a smart TV, will read them. So anytime I switch over to my 4K Blu-ray player, my 4K Ultra Blu-ray player, I turn that on, it'll automatically go right to it. Or if I want to, watch my root go, all I have to do is go right to the next, HDMI port that's listed as unknown and turn it on, and there you go. And sometimes it'll even do it on its own once there's like enough of a connection. Like once a strong enough connection's been established for a long while, and I've noticed this, that's when, I'll be able to just turn on, let's say, my PlayStation 4 or my Xbox, and it will automatically sync up. It'll sync up and, switch over to the HDMI port in which the switcher is connected to. So overall, like I said, it definitely lives up to being a smart TV, and probably the smartest I've seen in a while, because, even though this is a smart TV, give it a lot of credit, this one basically, when you switch over to a device, a majority of the time, with a few exceptions, it will automatically switch over to it. Whether it's your 4K Blu-ray player or Blu-ray player, whatever the case may be, or it's your switcher that's connected to your PlayStation or your Xbox or your PS5 or your Xbox Series X, whatever the case may be, it'll switch right over because it'll know exactly what you're connecting. So overall, it is definitely, like I said, worth, every penny that I spent to get it, and I'm really enjoying it. The only thing that might be an issue is when you get a sound bar for it, because you do have to get a sound bar just like with any smart TV. My recommendation on that is make sure you connect the sound bar or put the sound bar somewhere when you connect it that won't draw that much interference, because there are times that the sound bar will draw interference. I will watch a video sometimes on YouTube or watch something on television, and all of a sudden I'll hear this, and all of a sudden I'll hear this, and I'm thinking, what the heck is that? And I find out after I either go over to, either I turn off or switch out of the video, kind of, return to the menu, the YouTube menu, out of the video, if you will, or I basically turn off the television or I mute it, that the sound will go away. And there are times I've noticed that that interference does happen when something on the outside, gets turned on. Like our neighbor here has a generator, so that kind of interferes a little bit, and that does cause interference. Or sometimes your phone gets charged, and that does. But overall, though, guys, the TV is a great purchase, and really, I can't say any more than that. And I just wanted to give you a bit of an updated review on it. So let me know what your thoughts are down below. Comment if you like. Let me know if you've gotten the kind of television I did. And I will talk to y'all later. God bless. Take care. Peace.